Imagine walking into a supermarket. You only came to buy milk. 10 minutes later, you were standing at the checkout with snacks, soft drinks, chocolate, and a shopping cart filled with things that weren't even on your list. How did that happen? Was it an impulse? A coincidence? Or was someone expecting you to make those choices all along? Here is something most people never realize. Every major company, from supermarkets to fast food chains to online shopping platforms, spends millions, sometimes billions of dollars, studying one thing: your mind. Not because they want to understand you, because they want to influence you. Every color, every sound, every discount, every product placement has a purpose. And once you understand these psychological techniques, you'll never shop the same way again. Welcome to Empires. Today, we are uncovering the hidden psychology behind billion-dollar businesses, and how they quietly shape the decisions you believe are your own. Think about the last advertisement that stayed in your mind. Maybe it wasn't talking about features, or specifications, or technical details. Instead, it made you feel something: happiness, belonging, confidence, adventure, love. That's because great marketing rarely sells products. It sells emotions. A sports car isn't marketed as transportation. It's marketed as freedom. A luxury watch isn't marketed as a way to tell time. It's marketed as success. Coffee isn't just coffee. It's productivity, comfort, a morning ritual. People don't always buy products. They buy the story attached to them. That's why some companies can charge 10 times more than competitors selling something very similar. They are not selling an object. They are selling an identity. Imagine you are shopping online. You find a pair of shoes you like. Then suddenly, a message appears. Only 2 left in stock. Or maybe, sale ends in 3 hours. Instantly, the product feels more valuable. Why? Because your brain hates the idea of missing out. Psychologists call this scarcity. When something seems limited, we automatically believe it's more desirable. Whether it's a product, a concert ticket, or a hotel room, scarcity doesn't create value. It changes how we perceive value. That's why countdown timers, limited editions, and exclusive launches are used so often. Sometimes the scarcity is genuine. Sometimes it's simply a marketing strategy. Either way, it makes us decide faster and think less. Have you ever noticed that in many supermarkets, essential items like milk, bread, or eggs are often placed far from the entrance? That isn't random. It's carefully planned. The longer you walk through the store, the more products you see. The more products you see, the more opportunities there are for impulse purchases. Bright packaging, special offers, seasonal displays, new flavors. One unplanned item becomes 3. 3 becomes 6. Even the music matters. Slower music can encourage shoppers to spend more time browsing. Product placement matters too. Items placed at eye level often receive more attention than those on lower shelves. Nothing is accidental. Every shelf, every aisle, every display is designed to increase the chances that you'll buy more than you intended. Imagine seeing 2 offers. Option A: a bottle of water for $2. Option B: buy a sandwich and get the water free. Which feels like the better deal? Most people immediately choose the second option, even if they weren't planning to buy the sandwich. The word free has a unique effect on the human brain. It creates excitement, it reduces perceived risk, and it often encourages purchases we otherwise wouldn't make. Companies understand this perfectly. Free shipping, free trials, buy one, get one free, free gifts. These offers aren't always bad. Sometimes they genuinely save money, but other times, they encourage us to spend more, simply to unlock something that feels free. The question isn't, is it free? The better question is, would I still buy this if nothing extra came with it? That single question can save you from countless unnecessary purchases. So far, we have uncovered 4 powerful psychological techniques. Companies sell emotions, not just products. Scarcity creates urgency. Store layouts quietly influence your decisions. And the word free can completely change the way your brain thinks. But these strategies are only the beginning, because the next techniques are even more powerful. They explain why you trust expensive products more, why social proof shapes your choices, and how online platforms keep you scrolling and spending without you even noticing. Imagine walking into a store. On one shelf, there's a watch for $50. Right beside it, another watch that looks remarkably similar, but this one costs $500. Most people immediately assume the expensive one must be better. But why? Our brains naturally associate price with quality. It's called the price-quality heuristic. When we don't have enough information, we often use price as a shortcut. Higher price must mean higher quality. Sometimes that's true. Many premium products genuinely offer better materials, craftsmanship, or service. But not always. Companies understand this. That's why some brands intentionally price their products higher. A higher price can signal exclusivity, craftsmanship, or prestige, even before you evaluate the product itself. Luxury brands rarely compete by being the cheapest. They compete by making you feel like you are buying something exceptional. You are not just purchasing a handbag. You are purchasing status. You are not buying a phone. You are buying an experience. You are not ordering coffee. You are buying a lifestyle. Sometimes, the most valuable thing being sold is perception. Imagine walking past two restaurants. The first one is completely empty. The second has a line stretching outside. Without reading the menu, which one feels more trustworthy? Most people choose the busy restaurant, not because they know the food is better, but because other people already made the decision. Psychologists call this social proof. When we are uncertain, we naturally look at what others are doing. If millions of people buy a product, we assume it must be good. If thousands leave positive reviews, we feel safer making the purchase. That's why websites proudly display messages like, over 1 million customers, bestseller, most popular, trending now. These aren't random labels. They are designed to reduce hesitation. Human beings are social creatures. We feel more comfortable following a crowd, especially when making uncertain decisions. That's not weakness. It's simply how our brains evolved. The next time you see thousands of 5-star reviews, ask yourself one question. Do I actually need this? Or am I simply following everyone else? Years ago, most companies sold products. Today, many companies sell subscriptions, music, movies, cloud storage, fitness apps, food delivery, software, even toothbrushes. At first, the monthly fee feels tiny. $5, $10, $15. It's only a few dollars, you tell yourself. Then another subscription appears. And another. And another. Individually, they don't seem expensive. Together, they quietly become one of your biggest monthly expenses. This is exactly why subscription models have become so successful. Small recurring payments feel less painful than one large purchase. Businesses love predictable revenue. Consumers often underestimate predictable spending. Take a moment to think. How many subscriptions are you paying for today? How many did you use last week? Sometimes, we continue paying, not because we still need the service, but because canceling feels like effort. And companies know that. Have you ever picked up your phone, just to check one notification, and somehow, 30 minutes disappeared? You didn't plan to spend that much time, yet somehow, it happened. This isn't entirely by accident. Many digital platforms invest heavily in designing experiences that encourage engagement. Features like personalized recommendations, infinite scrolling, and timely notifications are intended to keep users interested and returning. The longer you stay, the more advertisements you see. The more advertisements you see, the greater the opportunity for companies to earn revenue. Your attention has become one of the most valuable resources in the world. Many online services are free to use, but that doesn't mean you are not paying. Often, your attention is part of the business model. The question isn't whether technology is good or bad. The question is, who is controlling your attention? You, or the algorithm? The most successful people don't necessarily avoid technology. They become intentional about how they use it. Because attention is limited. And wherever your attention goes, your time, energy, and often your money, follow. So far, we have uncovered 8 powerful psychological strategies. Companies shape perception through pricing. They use social proof to build trust. They rely on subscriptions to create recurring income, and digital platforms compete for your attention every single day. But the final chapter is where everything comes together. We'll explore how the world's smartest consumers protect themselves, how to recognize manipulation without becoming cynical, and the simple mindset that allows you to make better decisions in a world designed to influence them. Let's finish the story. Imagine you are shopping for a new television. The very first one you see costs $5,000. You immediately think, that's expensive. A few steps later, you find another television. This one costs $2,000. Suddenly, it feels like a bargain. But here is the question. Did the second television actually become cheaper? Or did the first price simply change your perception? This is called anchoring. The first number your brain sees becomes a reference point. Everything after that is judged against it. Retailers use this everywhere. Restaurants place an extremely expensive dish at the top of the menu, not because they expect everyone to order it, but because every other item suddenly feels more reasonable. Online stores display the original price beside the sale price. Luxury brands place premium products next to standard ones. The goal isn't just to sell the expensive option, it's to make the other options feel like incredible deals. The next time you see a huge discount, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, would I still think this is a good deal if I had never seen the original price? That one question can protect you from countless impulse purchases. Think about your morning. Maybe you wake up, check your phone, make coffee, open your favorite app, or stop by the same cafe on the way to work. How often do you consciously decide to do those things? Probably not very often. That's because habits require very little mental effort. Once a routine is formed, our brains prefer to repeat it. Companies know this. That's why they try to become part of your daily routine. Coffee chains reward repeat visits. Streaming platforms recommend your next show before the current one ends. Shopping apps send reminders. Food delivery apps remember your previous orders. The easier they make it to repeat a behavior, the more likely you are to keep coming back. The goal isn't simply to make one sale. The goal is to become your default choice. Because once a habit is created, customers often stop comparing alternatives. Let's talk about something most people never think about. What is the most valuable product in today's economy? Is it oil, gold, artificial intelligence, real estate? Not exactly. One of the most valuable resources in the modern world is your attention. Every notification, every advertisement, every short video, every recommendation is competing for the same thing. A few seconds of your focus. Because attention leads to clicks. Clicks lead to purchases. Purchases lead to profit. Many of the world's largest companies don't just sell products. They build ecosystems that encourage people to spend more time using their services. The longer you stay, the more opportunities they have to show you products, ads, or recommendations. That's why protecting your attention has become just as important as protecting your money. Where your attention goes, your decisions often follow, and your decisions shape your future. After hearing all of these psychological strategies, you might think, so should I stop buying everything? Absolutely not. The goal isn't to fear companies. The goal is to become aware. Because awareness changes behavior. Smart consumers ask different questions. Before buying something, they don't ask, can I afford this? They ask, why do I want this? Is it solving a real problem? Or is it simply creating temporary excitement? They don't chase every discount. They don't buy because everyone else is buying. They don't confuse expensive with valuable. Instead, they slow down. They compare. They research. And they make intentional decisions. Ironically, the companies that earn long-term trust are often the ones creating genuine value, not just clever marketing. That's why understanding psychology isn't about becoming suspicious of everything. It's about recognizing influence, so you can choose wisely. Let's go back to where we started. You walked into a store, planning to buy one thing. You walked out with 10. At first, it seemed like a simple shopping trip, but now, you know there was much more happening beneath the surface. Pricing, scarcity, social proof, anchoring, habit formation, attention. None of these strategies force you to buy, but they influence the way your brain processes choices. The companies aren't your enemy. Most are simply trying to persuade you in a competitive marketplace. The responsibility still belongs to you, because every purchase is ultimately your decision. The more you understand your own psychology, the harder it becomes for anyone else to make decisions on your behalf. The next time you see a limited time offer, take a breath. The next time a luxury product promises success, look beyond the advertisement. The next time everyone around you is buying something, ask yourself one simple question. Would I still want this if nobody else knew I owned it? If the answer is yes, it may truly add value to your life. If the answer is no, perhaps you are buying an emotion, not a product. Knowledge doesn't stop companies from marketing, but it gives you something far more valuable: choice. The freedom to spend intentionally. The freedom to protect your time, your money, and your attention. Because in today's world, the richest people aren't always the ones who earn the most. They are often the ones who think the most carefully before making decisions. And that may be the greatest investment you'll ever make. Thank you for watching Empires. If you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe for more deep dives into the psychology behind business, wealth, marketing, and the world's greatest companies. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and remember, every empire is built by understanding people before products.